And so on Sundays when your team wins, they call it Victory Monday. I don't know what the fuck they call Defeated Friday, but that's the state I'm at.
Was that your intro?
I don't, if you want to call it a fucking intro, I'm just so still off the walls, man. I'm just defeated.
Well.
Like, you ever see a situation happen and you're like, that's not gonna happen to me, and then that shit fuck around and it happens to you?
No, man. Welcome to the Legends Clubhouse. I am Friday morning Bobby Kaboose, as always, with the lovable loser Lawson Turner. What's going on, man?
Lovable loser is just like what perfectly wraps me up today, cause
not really lovable though, so it's more of like
it's more the loser part of it, but
detestable loser.
Dude, I never thought, like, right after the game, because I was streaming it to a Discord so some of my friends can watch, because, they're non-football fans, but they like hearing me, rage and complain about all that shit. I never thought in my wildest dreams, like, there were some glaring issues over the first 2 weeks of the Steelers defense, but the simple fact of, like, I never thought, oh, we scored 31 points, we're gonna win. Shit, if we scored 31 points in 100 games, we should win 96 of them. Like,
and the 4 that you don't are versus Joe Flacco.
Dude, when that was obviously going into the game, I still thought, oh, I don't give a damn who they got at quarterback. I got, the fact of the matter is, like, out of all the veterans they could have got, you get someone who's played my team 20 plus times, who just last year stepped in for Anthony Richardson for the Colts and whooped our ass. Like, he was...
Dude, who's your daddy? Joe Flacco. That's who.
Dog, for real. And it's like, I don't know if when... Obviously, this is a microcosm of an entire scheme and weeks worth of prep and stuff like that, but at what point are it's like... All right, before the play is even, called, when our defense is getting set, where's number 1? Oh, he's right there. We're going to go put 3 guys on him. Because for whatever reason, Jamar Chase is just, he's like that. And I do want to tip my cap to T. Higgins, because that last play up the sideline where he slid in bounds, right, is one of the, the higher IQ plays that not a lot of receivers think in the moment. Where I think that, once again, it's not the first drop of water, it's not the last drop of water, it's all the droplets in between. Where I genuinely was not a happy camper was that 68-yard touchdown play from Pat Freiermuth. It's not that I was mad that we scored a touchdown. I'm happy because, once again, the play before, we would have had the ball 1st and 10 in midfield, but it gets called back for holding. And then, fucking, when it comes to us scoring a touchdown, I'm like, yeah, there's just way too much time. There's just too much time. And when it's within a field goal-esque game, you do not want to be the team who... I don't give a damn how good your defense is. I don't care if you have Denver's defense. You don't want to be the team where your offense is on the sideline.
I did not watch the game. I saw the final score, and when I was leaving, because I was recording a podcast last night, so when I was leaving, I checked the score, and I was like, oh shit, the Bengals are up by 7 or something, or 6, with like a couple minutes left, and then checked the score when I got home, and the Steelers were up, and I was like, okay, and then... we all know what happened. The Bengals kicked the field goal at the end to win. But this shouldn't be a surprise to you, because I called the Steelers being 4-13 before the year.
So we're gonna lose the rest of our games.
They're gonna be losing the rest of their games. You should, dude. I was surprised when we didn't go live today that you were behind you ripping that flag off and just having a huge tantrum and just destroying your entire room. That's what I was hoping today's show was going to be.
Just completely going feral and ripping shit off the walls and just throwing everything.
I wasn't going to say I wasn't gonna say a goddamn word, and then I was just expecting like those shelves to be ripped off the wall. If
My
you have a Steelers football or whatever the fuck that is,
my
thrown out
bed
the
flipped
window.
over, just
Yeah,
everything in pieces. No, though, but
yeah.
like,
Take one of those jackets out. You open the door. You whip it at Sean, and he like just flies back. That's what I was expecting this Friday morning show to be.
dude, it was so just distasteful. And like the first pick Aaron Rodgers threw, I was like, okay,
How many did he throw?
he threw two. The first one was him trying to manipulate the safety and just throw a deep ball, which got picked by the safety that he tried to force away from DK. I tip my cap to the DB. I mean, it's a bad idea by Rodgers, good play by the DB. I tip my cap. The second one, dude, it's going to be one of the best interceptions all year long. He since you didn't watch the game, Aaron threw a ball to DK on the sideline on like a nice little, it might have been like an 8-yard out route, right? And it hit DK like in the shoulder, and he caught it, but the DB like wrapped his arm around it, and when coming to the ground, he like wrestled it away. And I was just like, you know what? That's just I can do nothing but tip my cap. That's a great defensive play. And it's
So
even more funny because
back when Bobby Caboose was a defensive back, that was how all my interceptions were.
you just ripping the hose away. You just ripping
Hell
them
yeah.
left and right.
I'm like, I'm stronger than you, and I want that football.
And I want that football.
That was, when I played football, that was my mindset. I'm like, I'm stronger than you, and I want that football. And you know what? That's why I had a long-lasting, great football career.
Of how long?
Is because of my determination. Um, it was longer than average. Like the NFL average, I think is 3 years.
Yeah.
Um, I think I played like 9 seasons.
Damn. Going crazy.
And then the like most athletes, alcohol got in the way.
But yeah, it's like to circle back, whenever your team is either up or down less than a field goal, it's like the 1 point lead in basketball. Where it's like, bro,
Yeah.
can somebody hit a three? So it's a full
Mhm.
so it's a full possession. But dude,
Yeah.
for how great our defense was over our 3-game winning streak. It's like, dude, that almost 500 yards of offense. They were 50% on third down. It was the eventuality of, I mean, one of my boys in my chat, because while the game's going, I'm like, oh well, he's trying to find silver linings because and I'm just fucking not wanting to hear any silver linings. He's like, at least you got Jamar Chase in fantasy. I said, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a damn if I would have loved if Jamar Chase would have ended with 10 points and we beat him 31-10. But it's like there's obviously there's something wrong with not the defense as a whole, but just timely spots. There was a 3rd and 14. I think it was the Bengals' first drive where they picked it up, and I'm like, here we go. Here we fucking go. And then that last drive to get them into field goal range, Jamar Chase just wide ass open on just a simple drag, and when they showed the replay, it was like Patrick Queen. There was a little bit of miscommunication. It looked like Patrick Queen was trying to tell Peyton Wilson, hey, you got that. You got the left hand side of the defense, right side of the offense. But it just makes me laugh too, because we started going a lot to zone, because one of the things, and you brought this up a plethora of times, stop rewarding offenses with pass interference on inaccurate balls. There were 3 last night where they were underthrown, nowhere near receivers' hands, and it's just flag.
Okay. First of all, don't fucking tell me about fucking flags, pass interference, or anything, because we just played the fucking Kansas City Chiefs who
You would
didn't get one
understand.
single fucking penalty. Not one. And we got, what, 13?
That's my
Fuck
point.
out
You
of
would
here.
you would understand.
I do understand that, but like I said, you shouldn't be mad because I called this. They're going to be 4-13. They're not going to win another game. What do you expect, man? They're not. Your Steelers are not a good team. They're never a good team. They just fucking sit around 500, and they're like, we're gonna just be around 500.
You know what I
And
really
Tomlin's
expected?
going to keep his job, huh?
I expected us to not allow a franchise record 16 catches to Joe Flacco threw the ball 47 times. 23 of those went to Jamar Chase. He completed 31 passes. Half of those went to Jamar Chase. So it's like
Why don't you guard him?
I'm begging. Dude, when I was watching every pass that left Joe Flacco's hand, I'm like, oh, number one. And it doesn't matter what leverage you hold against Jamar Chase, he's getting inside. It was like on Madden, oh, guess what play it is? Slant. Quick slants. It didn't matter. And
why didn't you phone a friend and tell them?
My brother in Christ, I'm trying. Like, and once again, it's not something that's, guys, I got this great new idea. Let's guard Jamar Chase. Like, it's nothing new. He's a single-handedly game wrecker. And it was even more funny in the game preview. I said, well, their X factor obviously is Jamar Chase. He can single-handedly, like, we've seen him over the course of his career just kind of be one-on-one unguardable.
I think the X factor was McPherson.
Yeah, because if he misses that field goal, we win.
Yeah, and then you're a happy boy instead of a sad boy.
Once again, I will take a win however I can get it. But it would have been like, guys, what the fuck's wrong with this defense, dude? Like, there's something glaring wrong. But once again, now next week we have the Packers in Pittsburgh for Sunday Night Football. That's another well, I was gonna say that's a get right game, but the Packers, we know how we feel about the Packers. Solid above average team, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's at home.
Yeah, it's in Pittsburgh for Sunday night.
All right, you guys are gonna lose that game. But anyway.
Well, yeah, we're gonna. According to you, we're gonna lose the rest because we already got our 4 wins.
That's what I'm saying. You guys are gonna be 4-13. I told you this at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't know Flacco was gonna beat you 6 times because he's still, he's still got to play. Did you guys play the Browns yet?
We played them last week.
Okay, and he probably beat you there. He beat you as a Bengal, and now he's got to beat you as a Raven.
It was even more funny because I was just thinking about it. It's like, yeah, we played the Bengals last week, and that was the week that they traded Joe Flacco. And then
Browns, you mean?
Yeah, Browns. And then he just beats us, this week.
Yeah, dude, that's how he rolls, man. He's the Flackness. I'm thinking about, I'm trying to save this to the end of the show, but it's at the tip of my tongue. But I feel like people, we always talk about your Christmas or your birthday wish list at the end of the show. I feel like everyone should just get you a jersey of Joe Flacco in every team that he's been on in the North. So
it's like, bro,
and Ravens, you can have them all on your wall, and you can replace that stupid flag because
I can't escape him.
Yeah, I know.
He's everywhere.
I know, man. He is your daddy.
Dude, for real.
What does he do? He throws touchdown passes against the Steelers.
Bro, and it's like he won the Unk Bowl.
I'm surprised he didn't run for 75 yards.
I'm happy you brought up him running. Now we ended up forcing a punt and getting the ball back, so it didn't really matter. But their second to last drive, this mother lover, right? First, so they forced us to punt. They had the ball 1st and 10 at their own 9 or 9-8, give or take, whatever. I don't remember the exact yard line. First play, go up top, incomplete. And I was like, okay, cool. 2nd and 10, This mother lover runs a zone read and pulls it for 12 yards, and I'm like, bro, you got it, dog. There's like everyone in the stadium, and obviously I gotta hear the who they gonna beat them Bengals. Man, fuck the Bengals.
Dude, and so wouldn't that be awesome if he never like ran in his entire career, but then like he pulls this one off and he's like as fast as like Michael Vick,
Dude,
and they're like, oh my god, it's just a secret weapon.
He just takes it for 30 yards instead of 12.
Yeah.
That would have been so funny. Yeah, though, but with the whole, obviously, with Calvin Austin hurt, that really impacts our ability to really stretch the field, because outside of DK, it's like, well, we got 4 tight ends, and it was even more funny because there were.
Why'd you get rid of Pickens?
He was supposed to be doing what he's doing now on my team. It's so funny because I've seen him over the past 3 weeks like just go ape shit, and I'm just like, you were supposed to do that for me. And
why don't you have Antonio Brown?
Shit.
Why don't you have
call him? Call him.
Why don't you have Plexico Burris?
Because of his gun issue when he shot himself in the leg. That's why. Oh, speaking of, this is gonna be funny. Speaking of guns and felonies in jail, super
funny.
Jonathan Gannon, he's the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, right? And someone, a reporter, asked him, at what point in your coaching career did you first start to like get into the mindset of like your sometimes you have to roll like with your backup quarterback and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And he said in 2007 when our quarterback went to jail because he was on the Falcons staff when Vic went to jail, and it's been circling around social media. It's like, that might be the most insane thing I've ever heard a coach say. Yeah, bro. It was when our quarterback. It was when our quarterback went to jail, and I was like, you're right. Yeah, but overall, it's with everything that happened last night and everything that could happen moving forward. If this defense doesn't get right, because once again, if entering the game, you would have said y'all scored 31 points, and Jalen Warren would have went for 158 yards from scrimmage. Pratt Freiermuth would have gone for 111 yards. I would have said, "I'll sign me up." We probably win. We probably win 31-20.
Bullshit. You wouldn't. You would have if you would have took 31 points against anyone, you're losing 58-31.
Maybe next week we'll score 31 points and win instead of 31 and lose.
Dude, they're not gonna win the rest of the season, dude. I'm telling you. We played the schedule game. I had them losing the last 13 games or whatever.
The last 13 games is crazy. No though, but realistically, it's at least
it's over. Realistically, it's over.
Shut up.
And hey, no matter what team comes out of the North, Flacco is starting for them in the playoffs.
Shit, maybe.
He has a contract with all three. He's just like, yeah, fuck it, dude.
That's so funny. No, though, but with everything, let's get off my team. Let's just get off.
You want to know something fun?
I just remembered.
Yes.
So someone tweeted out a picture of a betting slip that they had last night, and they called it the Unction, because last night was the Unk Bowl, aka the Icy Hot Bowl.
Why was it the Unk?
Because
the old quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And so someone put out a slip. It was Aaron Rodgers anytime touchdown, Joe Flacco anytime touchdown, and Max Scherzer to strike out 5 because he started for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, he's old as shit.
And I was like, that's an awesome thing to call it the Unction slip. And during the broadcast of last night's ALCS, they actually put out like a little graphic of old guys, old guys still doing it, and it was like Scherzer's throwing like 5,800 pitches in his career, and he's starting, and then they went to Aaron and Joe Flacco, and they had him on the screen, and it was just really funny.
Who won the ALCS yesterday?
The Blue Jays tied it up, so it's now a best of 3.
Sweet. So I forget what you said earlier, but to switch off of your team and onto my team, how fucked up is it, A, that the Kansas City Chiefs don't get one penalty called? 2, that your stupid ass fucking former receiver Juju Smith fucking starts shit at the end of the game by blindsiding Brian Branch, and he go gets him some after the game, and he gets suspended. And C, my C point would be, how fucked up is it that fucking Jordy Nelson was the one that came up with the suspension?
That's
Former
hilarious.
Packer against,
I didn't know that.
I'm like,
I didn't.
man.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
part.
Steph fucking reported that, and I was like, dude, that's like there should be that's a conflict of interest right there. I'm sure that the motherfucker hates the Lions.
I mean, I'm sure he had a lot of. Once again, I don't know the numbers off the top, but I'm sure they had a lot of success. I don't know how much success he'd have now, but the to go into your team, not the Detroit team I was thinking of. So a report was circling around the interweb yesterday that
About my foods.
Yep. About them being near, what is it, $250 million off, and someone said, "Wow, Scooble only wants $250 and $75,000," and I'm like, "No, buddy. He wants that. He wants a contract that starts with the number 4."
Well, I think obviously I don't know the details, but they were talking about on the radio about 5 years, 250 million, and I think that was, so it's 50 million a year.
Yeah.
So he's probably I would think he's looking for a longer term contract than that, and double. So what I said was, it's probably going to be 10 years, $400 to $500 million, total.
Yeah,
so
it's just a longer contract for the security, in the fact that he genuinely just wants to be there.
Right. And, they were talking about on the radio how Scott Harris kind of dropped the ball with Alex Bregman over the last year, and now he's a free agent again, so we'll go through all that again. But what they said is what they should offer is, if you really don't have intentions of re-signing this guy, you got to still show or stay face and at least make an offer. So they suggested 5 years, 250 million, a player option after every year. He's gonna decline it because his agent is Scott Boras. But at least you can say, okay, we gave him a very friendly fucking contract offer, to try to stay in Detroit. But he ain't staying here, man. He was in an interview recently too, and he's like, how as much as I would love to stay here, it's also a business, and like that right there, you're like, okay, he's gone.
It really sucks, because there are certain players, when you close your eyes and you think about them, they're just in a specific jersey, and he just looks like a tiger.
Just like Michael Jordan looked like a wizard. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really interesting to me as to how, because once again, a 5-year, $250 million contract sounds excellent, but also the simple fact of he wants to be here super long term.
Right.
Because it's the team that drafted him, built him up, and I feel there's more of that allegiance or loyalty in baseball than it is with other sports, where it's like, they drafted me, they came in their minor league system, they built me all the way up.
Yeah, it's like it's really hit or miss with baseball. Ha, no pun intended. Or swing and miss, you know.
Right.
But with something like that, because it's like your superstars, yes, but not necessarily anyone else, because
Mhm.
there's so much movement in baseball as far as like a trade deadline. I mean, like it seems like the same guys get traded every fucking year. So it's like it depends on kind of where you're at in,
Mhm.
in the mix of, the loyalty in baseball, because I think other sports it's probably easier to stay with the same team forever. Um I mean, baseball, they have team control for like the first 7 or 8 years of your life, pretty much,
Which is
your
kind of
baseball life.
nuts.
Right. But, there's so many times when prospects get moved, or, I just feel like baseball is probably like their deadline. Them and basketball are probably the most, and I feel like NBA, I feel like the last like 10 to 15 years have been like huge disappointments at the deadline. So I think baseball has the biggest movement at the deadline.
It's especially with how, and once again, your top of baseball is excellent and your bottom is bad, but that
Hmm.
your middle of the table is very competitive.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
So, and there's a lot of money because there's no cap. So,
Dude,
um,
it's ridiculous.
there's, I wish I was a baseball player instead of that defensive back that we talked about earlier.
I, I I saw someone when it was circling around Twitter or X that of how big the contract off is on both sides. Someone said, "Man, fuck that! I'm boycotting Little Caesars. I'm never eating that shit again." And I'm like, I mean, I don't blame you because I was gonna say, isn't Little Caesars like one of their like major not sponsors but
No, so the dude that owns the Tigers
mhm.
owns the Red Wings and owns Little Caesars.
Oh, there's the
Hence the
connection.
reason why it's called Little Caesars Arena for the Pistons and Red Wings. And that, we dubbed it the LCA, everyone calls it the LCA. I want to say that because when Little Caesars Arena first became a thing and they
Mhm.
announced the name, I was like, wow, that name is stupid as fuck. And so, but I am just gonna call it the LCA, and I want to say that I was the first one to call it the LCA.
Wow.
Yep. I'm gonna dub that award, and then because I was like, hey, you want to go to LCA? Where? Little Caesars, Little
And they're,
Caesars Arena.
and they're
Let's
like,
go.
oh,
Like, oh, instead of a
that's
five
kind of
dollar hot
catchy,
ready, I mean, I think they're like $8 now or
which is
$7. But
which is
you,
ridiculous.
but you can get a 24.50 hot and ready at the arena.
That's funny. Yeah, though, but it's with the whole because I don't know how long you guys have been invested in Alex Bregman, but it seems like he would just solve so many problems, and it's not even like you guys have like bad defensive problems.
You know? I
Like,
mean, we needed a bat or two, dude. Like it's like we had basically like a minor league team swinging bats up there. Like it's
hmm
and when we're hot, we're hot, but when we're cold, like there's no one to bring us back to, surface level.
hmm
We're just burying ourselves.
I saw, I think it was your guys' GM or front office and whoever when they were talking about like just individual strikeouts because someone threw out just some random quote of like Riley Green saying, "No one cares about my 300 strikeouts," and and then it went into, "Oh well, yeah, we care 100% about batting average and and strikeouts," and it's like, well, do you?
Yeah. Well, Scott Harris had this whole like speech when he got hired, and he was like, we're gonna focus on the strike zone on both sides of the ball. We're gonna pound the strike zone as pitchers, and as hitters, we're not gonna go outside the strike zone. Okay, Baez. Okay, fucking Riley Green. Okay, yeah, we're
Insert
we're
Tiger.
really sticking with that.
Mm,
So, um, but they mentioned Kyle Tucker is a free agent. I would love the Tigers to go after him. Alex Bregman. I would kind of prefer to go after someone else. Like the Alex Bregman thing, like I don't think I just don't think he'll be received well here. like if that makes sense because like the contract shit last year and like people know that like he was about to sign here and then he went to Boston. So like I don't know if that would be a good move. Like I
It's
don't
like
know
you're
like
coming. It's like you're coming here a year later, so you already essentially wasted a potential World Series
yeah.
year. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, the girl didn't want to go out with me at first, but then she didn't like the dude that she chose over me, so then she chose me, and then I'm like, oh, so I'm your sloppy seconds? Like, oh, I'm
Right.
your second choice? Like, fuck out of here. So it's, it's just, it'd be interesting because like I said, I could see him getting like booed out of the fucking building the first, or, the opposite. I mean, people are soft nowadays. I know back in the early 2000s, like when Ben Wallace left, they booed the shit out of him. Like they're like, you want to go get money somewhere else? Okay, good luck, dude. Like you're not gonna be the same dude that you were here, and he wasn't. He was never the same.
Yeah.
But then you have the powder puff fans, the little softies, the SAWFT soft
Soft.
fans, because they go by Detroit Rams stuff and they like Matt Stafford and they like Justin Verlander and shit. And I'm like, great, Verlander was great here, but guess what? Never won a World Series. Don't care. Guess what, Stafford? I don't care if you have the most stats of a Lions quarterback ever. The Lions have sucked forever. That just makes you mediocre. And fuck you for winning a Super Bowl somewhere else. That's how I feel.
Mm.
Like why can't you do it here? I don't care about your success. Do you care if I get a promotion at my job? Do you care if I get a 300 bowling ring when I'm fucking bowling against children? No, you don't care. So why should I care that you get a ring?
I mean, it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
The and to go to your Lions, they have a big game Monday night against the Bucks. Now,
Yeah.
the in quotations, and I wouldn't even say saving grace, but they're down like damn near all their receivers. But at the same time, you guys are without Brian Branch and a couple other key guys. How do you see it playing out?
I don't know, man. I don't know. So we haven't lost two games in a row in like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that may continue. I think I think Dan Campbell's just great at like getting his team prepared after a loss. Um Baker's that dude right now. But Goff isn't having a bad year either. So I think it could be a possible shootout.
Mm-hmm.
Um with Tampa, Tampa's defense isn't that great either. So I think it's going to be a shootout, dude. It's going to be similar to last night's game, where probably both teams score in the 30s, and it's going to be a fun game to watch.
Mm-hmm. I think the biggest X factor when it comes to now Tampa schematically has done a great job against just pure running backs, but I do think there's a sense of um, Detroit keeping Baker on the sideline because if the season ends today, Baker's your MVP. He's been awesome.
Yeah,
He's been awesome all year long. He's down two and towards the tail end of the last game, three receivers. And
right.
I think that if no, once again, because you have somebody playing at an MVP level, they could pull a rabbit out of the hat.
Hmm.
But I think Detroit can not in a sense easily roll, but I think that I can be swayed into and see more outcomes of a Detroit win because the Bucks have one way to win with all of their injuries on the offensive side, and it is Baker throw to Tez Johnson and Sterling
Yeah.
Shepard, and without Bucky Irving, Rashad
I
White.
just think I just think, it's like it's kind of like how the Lions were winning last year. It's like how do they find a way with all these injuries?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Bucks are just like okay, like Baker just does stuff. Like Baker just does weird shit for them to win. Like every week it's like one play that,
Bro, that
you're like,
third and
yep,
13 scramble last week, in which he's
yeah,
hucking dudes off like prime
yeah,
Big Ben and just taking off.
yeah. And it's a shame that you said prime Big Ben when your Steelers freaking suck. Why would you do that to yourself?
Because Big Ben was one of the more just get up off me quarterbacks.
Right, but why would you do that to yourself? That was your glory days, and now they're over, and you're about to lose the rest of the games of the season.
Because
why would you even bring that back up?
Because I like to reminisce on the good old days.
Yeah, but you're just torturing yourself.
Maybe we like pain, okay?
You know what days that I reminisce about the Lions? The last 3 years. That's it. Everything else, I can watch a Barry Sanders highlight.
I was just about to say, do y'all even have good days to bring back up in VHS?
By the way, I just saw a Calvin Johnson highlight reel, and anyone that wants to say that Matt Stafford was a good quarterback when fucking Calvin Johnson was here, dude, shut the fuck up, because Calvin Johnson, none of them were good throws. Like, they're just like, yep, I'm just gonna chuck it to you, and you're 6'5", and you can jump fucking 80 feet in the air, like triple coverage, like, dude, like, get the fuck out of here if you think fucking Stafford had some fucking precision passing. He was just throwing it in fucking groups, and he had the best receiver on the planet bringing him down.
Bro,
I was like, dude, like, none of these are good, like, touch throws. They're just like, oh, I'm just gonna whip it over there and see what happens.
A really interesting quote that has been a rise over this week. And Anonymous, and the reason why I say Anonymous is because his name was not, attached or anything. Eagles player said that the locker room like vibe, and this kind of has the feel of the 2023 like collapse.
Mm-hmm.
And it amazes me due to like you're on a 2-game losing streak, but you're the Super Bowl champs.
Yeah.
Like, and the fact that it's this close in now they do have a game in Minnesota, which I think Vegas has it as essentially a pick'em. I think the Eagles are favored by maybe 1.5, 2.5, but it's like this is another just funky ass game where I could see this Eagles offense that has almost all the talent in the world struggling for chunks, quarters, and maybe a half in this game.
So this reminds me of, and you may have to think about this for a second. This reminds me of the 2029 Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah, I did say 2029. So they come off of, back-to-back Super Bowl wins, right? And Mac Jones, out of everyone, is their quarterback, and he's playing phenomenally. He wins 3 out of 4 Super Bowls. The Raiders are the talk of the town. Well, the 2030 season starts, and Mac Jones, in the first 3 games, he has like 10 interceptions. The Raiders have to, he lost the locker room. The Raiders bench him, and then they trade him. That's what good teams do. They move forward, and they find a way to win. And guess what? The Raiders won the Super Bowl again with a young fellow named Ramon Hood under center, proving that it's the system, not the quarterback. Where they traded him to? They traded him to the Seattle Seahawks. Sam Darnold is no longer there. And guess what? They traded him for a first-round pick. And guess where the Raiders are picking for Seattle this upcoming offseason?
Number 1?
Top 5. Number 5. So you look at Mac Jones, who's a 3-time Super Bowl winner, and they just get rid of him. You know why? Because it's the system, and we don't like bad eggs in our system.
So basically what you're saying is find out who said the quote and get him the fuck up out of here.
Yes. Because we heard, or I'm not going to say we, but the Las Vegas Raiders of future time, they found out Mac Jones was probably talking shit. And they were like, you know what, Mac Jones? I'm glad you brought all this glory to the city, and you were about to get your own statue on the Vegas Strip, but you fucked it all up by opening your mouth. And then we go out and win the Super Bowl anyway without you. So we just proved that you don't get a statue.
it's whenever I see these anonymous quotes and stuff like that, it's always curious as to, well, it'll never come out who said it, but I would have loved to attach once again, I would be gobsmacked if he was the one. Let's say Lane Johnson was the one that came out and said it's like, oh fuck, we got a problem, because if it's one of your your upper echelon players of the team now, you
gotta trade him.
you gotta trade him.
Gotta trade him, dude.
Yeah, but it's just, I wonder who, like, the most overreactions. Like, yes, you blew a 15-point lead to Denver. Yes, you got steamrolled by Cam Scatterboo, the Crayon Eater, and the New York Giants. But like, huh?
He's a crayon eater.
He just has the look. Like, he might be the first and only person ever born with CTE. Like, he just got the look. And once again, not that I wish he was doing it for my team, but he just looks like he has so much fun, just running through guys.
Watch him be the next Peyton Hillis.
That would be hilarious.
Well, like, this is the only year that he's ever
solid.
Ever good. I swear, I think Peyton Hillis literally only had 1 year.
He did. It was even more funny because we were me and some friends were talking about Madden covers a couple of days ago, and they were like, "Who was that like Browns guy on the cover?" And I was like, "Oh, Peyton Hillis." He's like, "The fuck did he ever do?" And so I looked it up, and he had like 1,300 yards from scrimmage, which at the time is like, that's that. And once again, 1,300 yards from scrimmage is not like anything to slouch over. But I want to say he had like 1,300 from scrimmage and like 11 touchdowns. And I'm like, it's crazy to look at like the times now, because 1,100 is still like, oh, that's a good year. But you see guys going for like 13, 1,400 and like 13 touchdowns. It's like, damn.
Well, then you get like you get Peyton Hillis on there, a Cleveland Brown, right? And then I'm just trying to think, like, okay, historically, a better franchise than Cleveland that has not had a Madden cover athlete.
Are you asking or just thinking it out loud?
I'm asking and like thinking, because I know the Steelers had one with Palomalu when him and Fitzgerald were on it, which that one is like, okay, a regular Steeler didn't get his own cover, so that's one thing. But who else would be like has a Raven? Yeah, Ray Lewis was on there. 2 Lions were on there. Let me see here. And it's not like the Lions are a better franchise. Green Bay had Favre. Let me see here. San Francisco, McCaffrey.
Yeah, CMC was on it. What was it, last year? Year before?
Yeah. Josh Allen for Buffalo. I mean, I don't think the Raiders have ever had a team on there or a guy on there, which I would still consider them a better franchise than Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland's probably.
I was about to say, literally pick insert random franchise, like Eddie George was on the cover.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Detroit would probably be the only franchise close to Cleveland historically, and like. Yeah, in now in recent years though, like Detroit's like miles ahead, but Garrett miles ahead, or Myles Garrett miles ahead. Garrett miles ahead. Yeah. Who else? Cincinnati's never had one, but they're not a good franchise either. Texans, they're not a. I wouldn't consider them a great franchise.
Considering that they're still relatively new.
You're right. Jacksonville, Carolina, kind of the same thing. Even though Jacksonville had very early success, they just.
But they're not going to put like Tony Baselli or Maurice Jones-Drew on the cover.
Right. Or, Byron Leftwich.
Steelers legend.
Steelers legend. Steelers legend.
But the whole
Yeah. So, but you get my point.
Mm-hmm.
Like Peyton Hillis on the Cleveland Browns. He's like the most Cleveland Brown. He's the most Cleveland Brown Madden cover athlete. Like it's so like it's poetry in
I
motion.
was
It's
gonna
like
say it's not like they're gonna put Joe Thomas. Let's do a 1-year Peyton Hillis guy.
yes,
Right.
and he's probably the worst Madden cover athlete, right? I mean, he's probably the only non-Hall of Famer, you know, in there, and it
Yeah.
happens to be on the Cleveland Browns, right?
It's when you put it
It's
like
not even
that.
like Joshua Cribbs, who at least had a couple good years.
When you put it like that, you're right. It is kind of poetic. And once again, it's not like they put in their cornerstone. It's not like they put Joe Thomas on the cover.
Right.
Which is
Or, one of their 37 quarterbacks they had in the last 20 years.
so
Um, but yeah, dude, it's just funny because like you look at it as a one hit wonder, and yeah, who else would they who else in recent Browns history? We're talking like 99 since the
yeah.
they moved to the Ravens and then they got a new team. Who else from the Browns history of that history would you put on the cover?
It's literally
Nick Chubb,
it's literally Joe Thomas, and that's it.
I mean, Myles Garrett, you could make an
Yeah.
argument for. Um, Joe Thomas. Who did I say before? Nick Chubb, maybe.
Josh Cribbs.
Uh, maybe
Josh Gordon.
maybe Joshua Cribbs. Like I said, he was a flash in the pan.
Josh Gordon when he wasn't.
Josh Gordon never. I mean, he never played a full season.
He led the league in receiving in 2014, 13, 14.
Yeah, but then he would play he every year in Madden I would sign him because he was always a free agent. He was awesome in the game because he was so goddamn fast.
Yeah.
One of the biggest what ifs, ever. Anyway.
Yeah. So, do you think
you can put Flacco on there?
Huh?
Put Flacco on there.
I'll beat you with some bricks. The but so the Dodgers took a commanding 3-0 lead last night in also known as Team Japan.
Yep.
Who do you think will face them? Because we kind of touched on it ever so lightly, but so the Mariners took the first 2 games in Toronto, which is kind of like, oh, that's kind of funky, and then Toronto has took the last 2 games in Seattle, which is also
what was the score last night's game?
The score last night was
close because like it seems like none of these games have been close.
It was 8-2.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like one offense gets hot and just
the scoring went scoreless in the first. Seattle hit a solo home run in the bottom of the second, and then top of the third and fourth, Toronto put on a 3 spot and a 2 spot.
But yeah, none of the games have been close yet. But the funny thing is okay, the Dodgers are up 3-0. Mm-hmm. Both of us at the beginning of the playoffs took the Dodgers to come out of the NL. So it looks like that's gonna happen. And our AL teams, both of them are still alive. Between the Blue Jays and Mariners. So we were pretty spot on with what we were gonna think about the Super Bowl, the World Series. Mm-hmm. I'm sticking with the Blue Jays. I'm gonna stick with the Blue Jays. I said that at the beginning of the postseason, and I'm sticking with it.
Hot.
Yep.
Like he hit another home run last night, and it's just the things.
Like baseball wise or looks wise.
Listen, baseball wise.
Right, I'm just making sure, man. It's 2025. You never know.
I mean, listen. For you know what makes him super attractive? That $500 million contract he signed before the season started.
Start looking real attractive after that.
Looking real. It was funny because when he hit a grand slam against the Yankees, I was out watching the game with my dad and in like the living room or something, and I said, "Holy shit, Vladdy the Fatty just destroyed that ball." And my mom was like, "Who?" And I was like, I said, "It's a player named Vladimir Guerrero Jr." And she was like, "Does he appreciate being called? Is that like his? Does he appreciate that?" I said, "I don't know, but he's a big, thick boy, and he smashes baseballs, and he's getting compensated greatly for it. So listen."
I don't know, Mom. I don't know him personally. I just call him a fat ass from behind my
I,
TV screen.
I said, listen, if I'm on a $500 million contract, you can call me whatever the fuck you want, dude. I don't give a damn.
Dude, I just noticed you have a Steelers rug in there too.
Yeah, dude. We're stealing it
Dude,
up.
hey, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Before Monday. Actually, you can do it on Monday's show, or if it's available right now, we can do it now. Grab a garbage can, roll that shit up, and fucking set it on fire. Right on live
Not
camera.
even throw it away, set it on fire?
Set it on fire in the trash can.
No.
And then I want you to grab a marshmallow and make yourself a s'more.
I mean, at least I'm getting a happy ending with the s'more, but like,
Yeah.
So
While wearing your AFC North Flacco jersey.
it's just in threes.
Dude, you need one that just says North and Flacco, and then all three colors:
That'd be really funny.
orange, brown, and purple.
Orange, red, and purple's insane. No, but so with Shohei on the mound for the Dodgers, I think they kind of seize it and just kind of
But it's always that thing of if you sweep and you have to wait, you're waiting around to play, it might take a toll. It might, too many days off can get you out of the swing of things. I saw that Ohtani hit your triple for you yesterday.
Bro, it was so Bro, it was so funny because when I was watching the game, like, it was just one of those off the Shohei, for as much power, and it seems like he doesn't swing the bat hard.
Right.
And he just destroys everything. With that leadoff triple, it was just it was almost like a protection swing where it's like, oh fuck, I'm late, I better just make contact, and he just bing all over the corner, and I was like, all right, cool. Shohei finally broke out of. It's so funny too, cause like
you have like a single game parlay on that.
It did.
Did you win?
It did.
Sweet. What did What did you have? I know you had Shohei for a hit.
I had Shohei for a hit. I had Dodgers to win. I had Tyler Glasnow for 5.5 Ks, and then I had Tyler Glasnow for 16.5 pitching outs, which he went 17.
What was it a plus at?
It was I put a profit boost on it. It was like a +7, like 58 or something like that. Cause
I should have failed you.
Normally, I say normally, the original like odds was like a +608, but they gave me a 25% profit boost, so I put it on. I was like, oh nice, and it was like 10 to win like 72 or something like that.
Yeah, I should have trailed you.
Little baby come up.
Damn.
But yeah, like with it speaking of Shohei, it's really funny because like in the playoffs, he's just been like outside of the 2 home runs he hit in Game 1 against the Reds. It's like, oh, he's just kind of there, which he has been facing an ass load of left-handed pitching, and you know damn well they're not gonna put anything in the inner third of the plate.
Right, but like you're also seeing, like, I don't know how well Mookie Betts is doing, but like I've seen Ohtani get walked a few times so they could face Betts instead. But who's having a great playoff is Teoscar again.
Right.
And it seems like from what I've seen, I haven't watched much of the baseball playoffs since the Tigers got eliminated, but it seems like Freddie Freeman is having a great postseason as well.
Yeah. It's also really funny when they brought in Will Smith to pinch hit against the Phillies, and he came up big with the 2 RBI single in game. I want to say it was Game 2. Yeah, it was when they won 4-3, and that was like the breaking the game open swing in the 7th. But yeah, like Will Smith to me, he's just another classic solid all around catcher. And it was
He's a rapper that doesn't swear.
yes. Oh,
And
and
an
and
actor, he slaps people.
he does. But this
He's no
Will
longer a Fresh Prince.
no.
He's more like a stubborn mule.
I was gonna say Stinky King. Did you get it? Like Fresh
I
Prince,
get it.
Stinky King.
Yeah, I get it.
I saw.
I went with a stubborn mule.
I saw. Dylan Dingler was named one of the finalists for the Gold Glove Award, and I'm like,
yeah.
If any other catcher, like I understand Cal is having an awesome season from an offensive. Yeah, like
the Gold Glove shouldn't affect your offense, or your offense shouldn't affect your Gold Glove.
110%, and like with Dylan Dingler, it's like. Dude, I saw so many plays where he's robbing strikes and just his from pop-up time to, runs he saved based off of, once again catching runner stealing it and calling, essentially calling the game plan for one of the best pitchers, in the world now. That's another thing that I would love to, either ask a pitcher and or catcher. Now, I assume it varies per tandem. But how much of it is a catcher calling it, and how much of it is a pitcher calling it?
Yeah,
like a game plan.
Absolutely. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe this is episode 77, correct?
Yep.
My Mount Rushmore of number 77s would have to be George Marason,
mm-hmm.
Ray Bork.
Mm-hmm.
I forget his first name, but his last name was Radmanovich. Do you remember the basketball player? I think he was on the Seattle Supersonics. He's number 77.
Tom.
Was his first name Tom? I was gonna go with like Vladimir because his last name is Radmanovich.
Maybe.
And who would be my fourth 77?
I'm looking up a list of the best number 77s. I want mattresses.
You want mattresses?
I look.
Mattress Mac.
I googled best number 77s, and I guess something auto corrected one of the words for whatever reason, and it just came up with some mattresses. I'm like, what the Willie Roaf?
Who the hell's Willie Roaf?
He was a lineman for the Saints. Luca also wears number 77.
Oh, Paul Coffey. Paul Coffey was number 77. We'll go with him.
That's
so yeah, George Marason, the Radmanovich guy, Ray Bork, and Paul Coffey. Mount Rushmore 77s.
Paul Coffey is such an insane pull. I love it.
Yeah, dude, I didn't realize like he was like that awesome before he was a Red Wing, because he was a Red Wing towards the end of his career.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, thank you for joining us here at the Legends Clubhouse. We are live usually Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. So, hey, grab yourself some Captain Crunch, the peanut butter crunch, not the regular crunch, peanut butter crunch. Pour yourself a nice healthy bowl. Have your milk on the side, because it's gross when you actually put milk in cereal. If you think about it, you get floaties, and then you get soggy cereal, you get floaties in your milk, and then the milk gets fucking warm. It's gross. Anyway, or you can have a big boy breakfast and not have cereal. But anyway,
a big boy breakfast is insane.
Yeah, big boy breakfast with some meats and some eggs, toast.
We love the meats.
A pancake or a waffle. No syrup. Fuck the syrup. Just get some butter, but not a lot of butter, because you know why? Bad for your heart.
We live in America. We don't give a goddamn about that.
A little bit of butter. So, we are live on those 3 days over here on the New Leaf News YouTube channel. So hit that subscribe button. Make sure you get those notifications so you know when we are live. And if you can't, check us out when we're live, hey, we put up our show up on YouTube anyway. Fucking when you're at work, listen to us. Have a laugh. We all know you hate your boss. Have a laugh with us.
Be sure to have headphones in, though, because,
Yeah, headphones in. Not safe for work. Good call.
Yo, could you imagine if we had a NSFW tab like in the corner?
Oh yeah.
Yo, people are gonna be like, "What the fuck's finna go on in here?"
Right. I'm gonna start talking about Day or something and get kicked off the network. Anyway, go check us out over at newleafnews.com/.network. Both of them take you to the same great site. We have daily content, whether it's sports, entertainment, music on this day, horror